This is Travel Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, we present you with another incredible country. Today, we're looking at 15 things you didn't know about Tuscany. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get informed. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel for another exciting video brought to you by our team here at alux.com. In this video, we're going to discover 15 exciting facts about Tuscany. Tuscany is one of 20 regions of Italy, and it's found specifically in central Italy, stretching from the Apennines all the way to the Tyrrhenian Sea. This is a very beautiful region with lots of amazing sights and attractions. It borders the regions of Emilia-Romagna to the north and Lazio to the southeast. The region of Tuscany has a population of roughly 3.8 million inhabitants and a total area of about 8,900 square miles. Tuscany is culturally diverse, has a rich history, and is surrounded by the gorgeous Mediterranean Sea with some exquisite sandy beaches, which makes Tuscany a tourist magnet. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. But let's just dive right in, shall we? Here are the 15 things you didn't know about Tuscany. Number 1. Tuscany is the home of the Sword in the Stone. The sword belonging to Galgano Guidotti, a medieval Tuscan knight that's found in the region of Tuscany stuck in a stone. Galgano was born in Quistino in 1148 and spent his early life as a knight, but later in 1180 he became a Christian, retiring as a knight. After he became a Christian, it's said that Galgano had several dreams of St. Michael the Archangel, and he built a circular hut at Monte Siepi on the hill. Inside his hut, Galgano drove his sword into a rock as a sign of renouncing war. Galgano Guidotti died just a year after driving his sword into the rock, and he went on to become a saint. Today, his sword is found inside the Monte Siepi chapel. Number 2. Tuscany was the first modern European state to do away with the death penalty. In Tuscany, the death penalty was abolished back on November 30th, 1786, even before the unification of Italy, which took place in 1860. This happened when Pietro Leopoldo was the ruler of Tuscany, and he would later go on to become a Holy Roman Emperor, referred to as Leopold II. Tuscany abolished not only the death penalty, but also torture. The government destroyed all the means of execution that were in existence, which made it stand out among all other modern states in the world at that time. Unitarian states came together to form the Kingdom of Italy in 1860, and the death penalty was abolished altogether in the kingdom's penal code in 1889. Number 3. Tuscany has more professional football teams than any other region in Italy. The region of Tuscany has more professional football teams than any other region in Italy. It's home to the Fiorentina Football Club, which is the biggest in the region and plays in Italy's top football division, referred to as the Serie A. The Empoli Football Club is another big club found in the region of Tuscany, and they play in Serie B, which is the second football division in Italy. In League Pro, there are a total of 10 professional football clubs that call Tuscany home. In total, there are about 55 football clubs in the region of Tuscany, with no other region coming close to that number. Number 4. Tuscany has more than 5 ski resorts. Tuscany is a very attractive region with lots to offer. Some of the places that you can visit to help you unwind are the ski resorts found in Tuscany. They include Abetone Cableway, which is found on the Pistoiese Mountains. It's the biggest ski area in Tuscany, with more than 20 safe and modern chairlifts and 50 kilometers of slopes. The Mont Amiata Ski Resort is found on Mount Amiata and has 8 chairlifts and 10 kilometers of ski slopes. Mont Simone has more than 20 lifts and 50 kilometers of slope. Zumzeri, Passo di Santi, which is situated in Lunigiana, has a 12-kilometer slope. Cassone Profecchia, which is found in Garfagnana region, and Caragine, which is on the Appian Alps, have 5 kilometers of slopes. Number 5. The richest families in Tuscany 600 years ago are still the richest families today. The wealthiest families in Tuscany have sustained their assets for almost 600 years. Most of this is generational, especially in the region where most families are engaged in the wine production business. The role of CEO is often passed from generation to generation in these family-run businesses, and the wealth of most of these families has been sustained and expanded over time. This is why the same families who had the highest net worth in Tuscany 600 years ago are still the richest families in the region today. One example of this is Piero Antinori. He's the man behind one of Italy's biggest success stories, Marchesi Antinori Wines. His family has sold wine for more than 600 years, and they have vineyards in the Tuscany region that can be traced back to 1385. As the current CEO and the 25th generation to head the firm, he manages over 15 wineries owned by the Antinori family and the retail businesses in Florence and the United States. He has a net worth of $18 million. Number 6. Tuscany was one of the regions occupied by Nazi Germany during the Second World War. Benito Mussolini was removed from power by Italy's leaders in July of 1943, and in September of the same year, Italy withdrew from its alliance with Nazi Germany that was led by Adolf Hitler, and instead agreed to join forces with the Allies. This did not go over well with the Nazis, and they responded by sending their troops to several regions. Tuscany was one of those regions occupied by the Nazi Germans. Sadly, a lot of soldiers lost their lives in Tuscany as the Allies fought to expel the Germans from Italy. Number 7. The Pazzi conspiracy shook up Tuscany in the late 1470s. The Pazzi conspiracy refers to the plot of the members of the Pazzi family to displace one of the greatest families in Tuscany, the Medici family, as the rulers of Florence. There were even attempts to assassinate two members of the Medici family, Giuliano de' Medici and his brother Lorenzo de' Medici, in April of 1478. The attempt on Giuliano succeeded, while that of Lorenzo failed. After this event, the Pazzi family was exiled from Florence. Number 8. Tuscany was once hit by a fake wine scandal. Tuscany is well known as the most prestigious wine-producing region in Italy. However, this wine was almost ruined by a number of wine-related scandals. In 2014, the police seized fake labels of top wine brands including Brunello and Rosso di Montalcino, and low-quality wine that could fill approximately 290,000 bottles. Dubbed as one of the biggest scandals in Italy's agriculture sector, the wines were packaged for export to the USA and China. As a result, strict laws were enforced to ensure quality was observed, and only legitimate wine was exported to maintain the reputation of Tuscan wines. Number 9. Tuscany was the first region to adopt pavement in Europe. In 1339, Florence became the first metropolis in all of Europe to have paved roads, setting the trend for other regions to follow. This happened because Tuscany was the home of many elite banks in Europe, and at the time it also had a booming merchandise industry, and having the roads paved made it easier for people to access Florence. This helped to improve business in Tuscany, but it also made the city beautiful. Number 10. The most expensive hotel in Tuscany will cost you more than $20,000 a night. Tuscany's economy heavily relies on tourism, and it's a popular destination, especially for Britons. The most expensive place to stay in the region is the Four Seasons Hotel Firenze in Florence. It's located in a historic building where some of the wealthiest in the city used to live. Its luxurious royal suite has vaulted ceilings, ceramic flooring, and 17th-century frescoes on the walls. The suite is located where the nobles used to reside in the former palace. The suite features a king bed, a marble bathroom, a dining space that seats 8 people, and additional rooms in over 2,500 square feet of space. Guests enjoy complimentary frozen drinks and fruit skewers delivered poolside, a hot tub, a fully stocked private bar, a spa, and a Michelin-starred restaurant. All of this and more comes at a cost of $21,000 per night. We talk a little more about pricey hotels in our video, The 10 Most Expensive Hotels in the World. Click on the upper right-hand corner if you want to check it out. Number 11. Nearly 2/3 of the Tuscany area is made up of hills, and the other 1/4 of the total area is made up of mountains. The total area of Tuscany's region is about 8,878 square miles, and 2/3 of that area is made up of hills, with mountains covering about 25% of the total area. These mountains and hills are stunning and some of the scenic attractions that the region has to offer. Most of the region's ski resorts are based on these mountains, which are also used for activities such as hiking and extreme sports like mountain biking. Number 12. The third edition of Uffizi Live is held in Florence. The third edition of the Uffizi Live happened in the summer of 2018 in Florence, the capital of the Tuscany region. The summer festival kicked off June 12th and continues until September 25th. The festival allows both established and upcoming artists to exhibit their art, from digital art installations to theater, dance, and music. Tuscany is known for its preservation of culture, and the showcase at Uffizi provides the room for exchange between different cultures and traditions, and offers new ways of enhancing your art collection. The Uffizi Gallery is one of the most visited art museums globally, and it remains one of the most popular tourist attractions in Florence today. Number 13. Pinocchio is from Tuscany. The story of Pinocchio was published in 1883 in Italian, and it was written by Carlo Collodi. The story would later be translated into English in the early 1890s and went on to be made into a hit Disney film in 1940. The author of this amazing story was born in 1826 in Florence, Tuscany, and its title means pine eyes in Italian. Number 14. There is no drinking age in Tuscany. The Tuscany region is known for its fine wines, with areas such as Chianti being some of the leading attractions for tourists looking to check out the wines. In Tuscany and all of Italy, there's no legal drinking age, which means that anybody, including young children, can consume alcohol legally. However, this does not mean that young people can be served alcohol in bars and restaurants, as a person must be 16 years of age and above to be able to enjoy such privileges. Number 15. Tuscany is the birthplace of the Western music tradition. A group of musicians, intellectuals, and poets who were referred to as the Florentine Camerata came together around the mid-16th century. They began putting ancient Greek myths to music while on stage. Their performances formed the first operas in the world, and these led to the development of classical forms of music. Well, A-Luxers, that's a wrap on Tuscany. Now, before you go, we're curious. Have you ever visited Tuscany? What was the greatest part of your visit? Let us know in the comments. And as always, thank you for sticking with us all the way to the end. For being a true A-Luxer, you know you get a bonus fact. Here it is. Number 16. Tuscan bread is made without any salt. Why does Tuscan bread not have salt? Known as a pane toscano in Italian, Tuscan bread is known for its unique taste, as it's intentionally made without salt. This started way back in 1497 during the war between Florence and Pisa. The Pisan army blocked salt shipments to Florence in a bid to force them to surrender. This resulted in increased prices of salt, which most of the population could not afford at the time. Florentine bakers had to adapt to baking without salt. Even after the war ended, the bread tradition continued. Thank you for spending some time with us, A-Luxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an A-Luxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.